Hey guys,
Hi guys.
welcome back or welcome to the Nerdy Archives.
Nerdy archives. I almost said nerdy nummies. That's a fucking word I haven't heard in
Oh
forever.
my God. I have that
Me
cookbook.
too.
Yes. Yes.
Never made a fucking thing out of it because
Me
I
either.
can't bake, but
I
hey.
just am too lazy. Also, I think I actually left it at Melissa's house when we moved.
Oh
So,
no, so you technically don't have it.
I mean, I own it. It's just not in my
It's just not in my
possession.
yeah.
Um, But hey guys, this is Nerdy Archives, and this week is a little bit of a I think it's like our first deviation from the schedule we've been talking about.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so let me give some context really
Yes.
quick. When we were making the schedule, I literally just wrote down cosplay, and I don't think we can fill an hour and a half to 2 hours talking about cosplay. Like, don't get me wrong, Jessica Negri, I love you, and I could literally talk about you all day, but I don't think that's what we want this to be about.
Right.
And I was like, well, we both don't cosplay yet. I know we're going to.
Right. It's yeah, it's a thing, but
And I feel like if we go on cosplay talk, that's just gonna be thirst traps waiting to happen. So I
oh
don't.
yeah. Yeah.
So we decided we're gonna do something out of the box. Something kind of keeping us on our toes.
Yes. Yes. Keeping us on our toes. Do you want to kind of explain what we're gonna do?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so I know. I don't know if you're living under a rock or whatever, but everybody is obsessed with AI right now. I think it's pretty cool. Mike's been watching this live streamer that does AI like versions of I don't know, like Asmongold, for example, or he did one of Joe Biden where like he interviews the AI,
Mm-hmm.
which is really fucking funny to be honest with you. Um, and it's coming to a point where this is the future,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the future when my works has an hour long meeting discussing pretty much just AI. Um, which that was fun because I got a bunch of cool AI like websites to go to now. So like thanks
Right.
work, but so there's a program. Well, not a program. It's a website. It is technically a program though, called ChatGTP or JPT. One second. Let me. I don't want to say it wrong. I'm dyslexic. Have an ass. It doesn't even say on the website what it is. Excuse me. Yeah, okay, so chat JPT. Okay, I did say it right. I just
All right.
don't look. Pretty much you can ask it whatever the hell you want. You can give it a prompt. Like I was messing with it the other day after the work
Hmm.
meeting, and I was like, I need a character based on like I needed like a persona,
Right.
and it pretty much gave me Mogsy, and it like described, but they named it Moggy, which was kind of really cute.
Yeah, that is
um,
cute.
it pretty much described in detail like its character design, personality, backstory.
Hmm.
So I was like, you know what? Oh, I don't know what we're gonna. We were talking last night
Yeah.
because I'm impulsive and dyed my hair, and as I do. And I was like, I can ask this bot what we should discuss. And so the first prompt we're going to do is based off what it told us. And you're not going to see that live because I already asked it, right? Like,
Right.
but I did screenshot it. But I was like, you know what? Sitting in the office today, just thinking, right? As you do. Like,
Hmm.
this would be a good video idea. Just to have it give us a bunch of prompts of where we have to like discuss it for like 15-ish minutes. I think that would be
Hmm.
fun.
Yeah, no, I like this idea. I do. And I think it could be like kind of a segment that we repeat in the
Yeah,
future
yeah.
just to keep it.
Yeah, well, what did I say? I was like, "Hey, I need an episode idea. What? on my podcast with best friend, like we like video games and nerdy stuff, and we're women.
Right.
Like
And we're women.
we're women. But yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. But first, we're gonna talk about our week, and let me tell you, it's kind of funny because the first topic you gave us was like perfect because of your
Yeah.
week.
Yeah. It's been a week.
If you do, you want to go
Um,
start? You want to start first? Yours is pretty heavy compared to mine.
sure. Um, so was it inventory this week? It's literally been such a long week. I don't even, yes, Monday was inventory. And um like that went okay. Like at least inventory went out like okay. Um, but I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday. It had to be Tuesday. Um, like my supervisor, technically, um, kind of pulled me aside and it was just like, hey, like I'm saying to you this as like a friend. Like I want you to know, not as a boss or a supervisor, that like on Friday they're doing checks of uniforms and like your pants aren't acceptable, your shirt is like too short, and like, you never wear your name badge, and like obviously I don't want you to lose your job. So like you need to do some changes. And I was like, well, okay, like I don't see a problem with my uniform currently, but if it needs changes, I will make them. But then I kind of got to like looking around because this is what I do. I overthink everything, but I don't really think I was overthinking in this situation. Um, like the only people at my work, there's only like a handful of us who are like I'm just gonna be blunt fat. Like I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I am a fat person. Like I have been since I was 8 years old. Like I have lived as a fat person literally my entire life. Um, and there's really only a handful of us who are like visibly fat. And out of all of us, like all of them wear like very baggy tops and baggy bottoms. And I I was wearing technically pants that weren't part of the dress code. I understand this. I was willing to change that. But my top is just a normal men's polo that rides up when I raise my arms, which is what shirts do.
Yeah, what are you supposed to do? Wear like a 4XL to
Oh, I
where
have
it's
a
pretty
five.
much a fucking.
I have a
You bought a
5XL.
5?
It was all that was available, to be fair.
You're gonna be pretty
But,
much wearing a fucking dress at that point.
well, as I guess whatever it takes to keep my job. But,
What
um,
the hell just happened? Hold on. Why did it
yeah,
stop streaming?
I don't
Sorry,
know.
it like fucked
No,
up
it's okay.
everything.
It's okay.
Oh, where did my Google go? Sorry,
Uh-oh.
continue
No,
while
it's
I'm
okay.
fixing this.
So like I really kind of got in my head about this and like I was honestly, excuse me, thinking of like going to HR, but it's like really not worth it. It just isn't. I live in a small town, for one. I don't need any more attention drawn to me. I'm already the girl who's not from here. Like, I just don't need it. But I'm gonna not lie and say that it hasn't really gotten me into some really bad headspaces.
Well, it's because you're pretty much being like personally targeted and personally attacked.
Yeah. And like and it doesn't help that I was constantly well, not compared, but like they were using She Who Shall Not Be Named as an example of like what needs to change about like my uniform. And I was like, okay, I that's just confirms that it's fat phobic because She Who Shall Not Be Named is larger than I am. So you're literally just pointing the finger that it is my weight that is the problem. It's not the shirt, it's not the pants. It's
It's
ultimately
me.
me. And it's like it's not worth fighting the good fight. I don't have it. I'm trying not to get emotional, but I'm so tired. It's just not worth the emotional damage to go through a whole schmeal of, you know, I shouldn't be expected to look like a potato sack.
Exactly. Like I don't. So I let me give a disclaimer as well. I am a pretty chubby girl. I am nowhere near like skinny, right?
Mhm,
I think like okay, so like the options that we have for clothing are
mhm,
either skin tight or pretty much falling off you baggy, right? And
mhm,
I don't think it's fair that you found something that fits you and like is comfortable to you
mhm.
and they're just like, "No. You you need to change it cuz it's making me uncomfortable pretty much." Like, well, don't fucking look at me, right?
Basically. And it's like I
Like
also
this
there
is
was a
just
whole
becoming
thing.
harassment at this point.
Yeah, and there's a whole thing with my um I bought a fleece, like you know how most companies have like a stupid fleece jacket that they'll make you pay 20 bucks for
When it should be
during the
free.
winter time.
Yeah.
Well, I got one a couple weeks back because I got a giant grease stain on the front of my shirt because I didn't realize that the potato wedges that I had for lunch had seeped onto my shirt. Go figure. And I was told by my boss that I wasn't allowed to wear that on the floor because of the dog hair from my dogs at home. Like, here's the thing. I'm one of those people who's kind of a menace. Like, I have dogs. I refuse to like duct tape myself every time I leave the house just because I have dog hair on me. If I know somebody is allergic, obviously I will do my best. But otherwise, it's like I
Whatever,
view it
man.
like if you have kids, you're probably going to have some spit up on you.
Exactly.
Or if you have kids, you, your house might not be clean all the time. Like my animals are my family. I don't treat them like accessories. They are allowed on the couches. They sometimes cuddle up in my clothes because I literally have a chihuahua who weighs 3 pounds. Like, it's just been a lot of just constant shit. And then
Nitpicking.
the nitpicking got to me yesterday. I kind of broke down at work, like not crying, but just like basically went borderline mute. And it caused a bunch of shit that I haven't even told you about, actually. And yeah,
See, she doesn't tell me this stuff because I get very, 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 very upset.
I might as well just do it because we're here now. So yesterday I basically kind of went like I will say mute, like I would only say something if I was spoken to. And it was after I was reprimanded in front of my coworkers.
Okay, there's a time and a place, and like in front of your fucking coworkers is not the place to like. I don't even know what to fucking call it, right? Like for
Yeah.
them, it's fucking criticism or something, but like or advice. Nah, dude, that's not okay. That's just fucking verbal assault.
And like
Public verbal assaults.
here's the thing. My mom has been a manager in some sort for like decades at this point. My mom is also known to be a very good manager. She has had people in multiple jobs say that she's the best boss they've ever had. My brother was my boss for a while, and he also one of the best bosses I've ever had. I come from a family with very strong leadership. I did not get this leadership, mind you, but I know from experience how employees can be and should be treated. And I've not been getting that. And it's very frustrating. And like it came to a head today. Who my boss basically told me to take a PTO day tomorrow because she thought I worked because work is too much for me. And I was like, for one, I don't work tomorrow. And two,
It's not
yes,
work.
it's been a really long week. And
Agreed.
like, I kind of had to confront her on some of the things. And I did tell her that I found how she dealt with the problem very inappropriate. She's not going to change, mind you. I know she's not going to change. But I let her know that I found it extremely inappropriate. I do not deal well with being singled out. I'm not saying I don't want to take responsibility for my mistakes, but there is a time and place to do it, and there is a way to do it, and that was not the way.
Maybe she should stop and think. What has changed the last week to make you pretty much like hide in a shell, right? Like it's not that work is too much. No, it's the fucking people.
Yeah.
Like
And like
excuse me, that would no. I
and like I you know this because it used to be when I have to do presentations at school too. Anytime I'm in the spotlight or I have to do like a confrontation or like be direct, I get really bad shakes.
dude, same to be honest though.
Like I can't control it. Like if I have to deal with authority, I get the shakes. Does not matter if I've done nothing wrong. It doesn't matter if I did do something wrong. I have extreme anxiety dealing with authority. And as much as my boss tries to act like, "Oh, I'm just like you,"
You're not.
ultimately, she's not.
You're not.
And like she pointed it out, and I was like, "You really
Thanks.
need to learn what like managers are allowed to notice. You can't be pointing out my shit. Like that's not has nothing to do with my job performance."
See, I'm the same way to a certain extent. Like if I've learned this too. If I'm in a group of people that I never worked with before,
Hmm.
I can't talk. I stumble over my words. I start shaking. I get like gut wrenching feelings when I have to speak.
Hmm.
But like the more I get like comfortable with people, I'm fine with it. It's so fucking
Yeah.
weird. But no, like I get what you're saying. Like
And like I'm just gonna wrap it up because I don't want to be like miss down and depressed all. But like boundaries are really hard in small towns especially because managers don't want to be managers. They want to be friends. And it's like, I don't have a problem with that. I really don't. I like when managers try to at least be friendly, but I don't need another parent. I don't need another friend. I need a boss.
see, and I can attest to that because when I used to work at Harbor Freight, right, I had
Hmm.
a boss who thought we were best friends, would want to hang out outside of work, would like treat me differently than everybody else and stuff. Like on it personally, I just went with it because she could fire me. Is that
Hmm.
that's weird to say, but like
Not really.
I didn't want to like hang out with her, right? Like I didn't want to go over to
Right.
her house and stuff. That was weird to me. And then like my other coworkers started to notice, and I had to tell them like straight out, like, look, she thinks we're more friends than we are. Like
Right.
it's just uncomfortable.
Hmm.
And like she would sign me up to do like overnight shifts and shit with her and not even tell me.
Ugh.
So like there's
Yeah.
that boundary for a fucking reason. And like it should
Hmm.
not be crossed because it made it very, very, very uncomfortable.
Right. And like, so that's basically like the basis is like there's a lack of boundaries and there's also like a misunderstanding that like just because I'm at work, I have to be friendly. I have to be friendly to customers.
You're not a fucking customer. You're my coworker. You're my
I
boss.
I can also just have to be civil. I do not have to be chatty 24/7. I don't have to be my best self. As long as I am treating customers as they should be treated, by handbook laws, and as long as I'm not flat out saying F you every time you try to talk to me, I do not have to be a perky person. I don't have to be a positive person. I
It
don't have to be likable or easy to be around. That is not requirements.
it was not in your job description. like
It's not. And like, I shouldn't have to explain that, I do have a life outside of work and it's not exactly the easiest right now. So sometimes I don't feel like being a friendly person. Sometimes I just want to go to work and not talk to anybody other than customers. And I feel like that is self-explanatory.
yeah.
But she's also like a toxic positivity bitch. So like
Oh,
it,
what's kind
it's
of
a
funny
lose, lose,
though.
lose, lose all over. So I'm done ranting. I don't want to be sad sack all night. So how was your week?
Like I said last episode, Friday, just a bunch of mistakes were pointed out to me that continued into this week. Um,
Mhm.
I fixed them. I just need to like stop beating myself up over it. I hate that I'm such
Yeah.
a fucking perfectionist and like I hate when I make mistakes. Anyway, fucking Virgos, you know. Um, so uh was it Tuesday or Wednesday? I don't remember. I had a one-on-one with my boss. It's like a monthly like one-on-one. I don't know why my
Mhm.
boss has wanted to talk to me lately. It's weird. Um because this is like our seventh fucking meeting in like the
Oh,
past two
geez.
weeks. So it's like, what's up?
It's like, uh-oh.
like, am I fucking up? But like literally right before that meeting,
Hmm.
uh I got an email asking why I was using a job number. And I was like, crap, I've been billing the wrong job number. So like
Oh,
I
shoot.
have multiple job numbers based on like
Yeah.
what division I'm working in. I was like,
Right.
shit. I replied to the email immediately and I was like, I am so sorry. I meant to bill this one. My bad. Like,
My bad.
I'm sorry for the inconvenience and the misunderstanding. Like, so I thought she was gonna bring that up because that was literally like the morning of our talk, and
Uh-huh.
she did it. So I was like
That's
very
nice.
very grateful for that. She asked me if I like wrote down any goals yet or anything, and to be honest with you, I fucking haven't. I've been having to pick up my coworkers slack
Right.
all week because for some reason they are both very hard to get a hold of. So people know that I'm around and they get a hold of me. So it's like, fuck, okay, like give me a second.
Right.
Dude, literally, I got a message about a campaign needing stuff, right?
Uh-huh.
I was like, okay, yeah, I don't worry about it. Like, I got you. I'm working on it right now as we speak. And then I get another message
Oh,
and
jeez.
another message.
Oh, no.
And now I have three things that I need to fucking do. And I'm like, okay, you're gonna have to wait in line. Like this is
It's like
just
we gotta wait. We gotta wait.
this is just gonna be my whole day is doing my coworker stuff, right? Because like it was
Yeah.
all of these were due a week ago, mind you.
Oh my God.
So after that, they finally came online and like we're like, no, I got it. Don't worry about it. And I was like, thank God because I didn't want to do it. It's not mine.
Right.
So then during my conversation with my boss, she asked if I had any time to work on like the goals and stuff for this year, and I was like, to be honest with you, no. I was like,
No.
I'm not the type of person to throw somebody under the bus, but it's like getting ridiculous at this point.
Right.
Like it is stressing me out.
Well,
So
yeah.
I was like, no, not yet. I was like, this week I've been doing so and so's work, which is okay because they're not going to be here to continue, like finish it through, right? So like I
Right.
don't mind doing literally 10 tickets, mind you.
Right.
of this program. Like, if they're just maintenance updates, it's not that big of a deal. So I was like, yeah, I didn't mind doing that. But then we have the other part of somebody who is very hard to get a hold of. And she's like, yeah, I really need to talk to him about that. She's like, well, I appreciate you doing it. She's like, it's not, you shouldn't have to, but like, I appreciate you like taking the initiative. And it's like, well,
Right.
I'm the only one available right now, obviously. So like, I kind of have to.
Right.
Like I said, I don't like throwing people under the bus. He can hate me all he wants. Why is he never around? I don't know. And then every time I'm like halfway done with one of his, he gets
Yeah.
online and does it. So it's like, I'm wasting my fucking time here. Anyway, so
Right.
I'm very grateful she didn't bring up the whole time issue, because after that day, it was Wednesday because Mike's mom came over, I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I get an email with a job number request transfer, right? And it wasn't
Right.
really me. It was
Uh,
sent to like 10 people. So like, I don't feel as bad now.
yeah.
There's like 10 people doing it.
10 people.
I was like, okay,
Jeez.
well, shit happens, I guess.
Shit happens, indeed.
And then I didn't realize this was my coworker's campaign too, but I got dragged into a conversation about an email that like became high priority, right?
Uh-huh.
And they're like, when can you do this and that? And I'm like, literally whenever you guys need me to. Like, I can make the time work. I don't care.
I can make it work. Right.
Like, just tell me when, pretty much. So it was like an hour and a half of discussing it. I didn't realize it was the person who's not around ever anyways campaign, so I stole that.
Oh my gosh.
Well, it's my division,
Right.
so like I don't know why it wasn't mine. Anyway,
Yeah.
they don't know it. They assign the wrong people all the fucking time. Anyway, so then during the meeting, the girl, one of the clients, mind you, was
Hmm.
like speaking to the other people that I'm not gonna say who because I don't want to give away my job. Um,
Right.
asking them what their availability is next week on Friday. So guess what I get
Uh-huh.
to do?
Meeting.
I get to do an in-person meeting
In
for
person
2
meeting.
hours.
Meeting. In
I
person.
I never wanted to meet these people IRL. So like
I never wanted to meet these people.
like I don't mind meeting the PM and stuff. Like that's fine. They're in our company, but like I never wanted to meet clients.
Right.
And like
Like you don't,
what am I
yeah.
supposed to do in it? Like I just do one tiny little minor part. I'm gonna be in a meeting for 2 hours, bored out of my mind.
Right.
Like it's gonna be great. Plus, like now I have the anxiety of trying to find the fucking conference room we're gonna
Oh my
be in.
gosh.
So like we have three levels, right? And each
Hmm.
floor has like it's their meeting rooms. It's so cheesy. They're like things that go together, or like for example, like lightning and thunder,
Oh my
fucking
gosh.
Ben and Jerry, and Bonnie and Clyde, like that kind of shit. But like each floor has these, and I have to find the fucking room, and I don't know
Oh
what
my
floor
gosh.
it's on. So
That's hilarious.
that's gonna be fun. But yeah, like I did not want to meet them in person. I'm a very awkward person in real life too, so like. Plus, I have resting bitch face.
You're just gonna be sitting in that meeting room, just stone faced.
Yeah. And people are, because I've gotten that too, where people are like, you are very unapproachable. Good.
It's like, thank you.
Because I don't want to talk to you. I hate talking to like people because of my anxiety. Like, I hate it. Please don't look in my direction. I will
Don't
have a
even
panic attack.
breathe my air.
It's so bad. But yeah, that was my week.
Yes, yes.
Thankfully yesterday and today were slow days, so it was very
Yeah,
nice.
that would be nice.
But yeah, so here's the hoping next week is good because guess what? I have another meeting with my boss on Monday. It's to go over a specific fucking campaign and how I write the rules for images. And
Yeah,
I'm down. Like I'll write it however the hell you want me to. I just, let's be honest, copied and pasted from what however my one coworker I took over for did it.
right.
So like I don't know why we need to have a half an hour conversation. Like just tell me what to write, how you want me to explain it, and I'll do it.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so nice. I burnt the absolute crap out of my tongue this morning with coffee, and it still hurts. So I want to apologize in advance if it sounds like I have like a lisp a little bit because my tongue is very burnt.
Oh my gosh. I will apologize for the copious amount of yawning.
Girl, it's
I'm not tired. I'm just a sad bitch, and apparently I need air to my brain because the yawns.
just all the yawns. All right, let me pull up the screenshot that I took
Yes.
yesterday. I take too
Whew.
many pictures.
See?
Jesus.
First
Okay.
big yawn. Whew.
So, like I said, the first prompt we are going to do is on my phone, and I'm not going to put the screenshot up. But
Hmm.
after this, I have the bot open.
Yes.
Let me just make sure that my screen's not going to like disappear again. Okay, we're good. Okay, so like I said, I literally typed in like we're women, we like video games, anime and stuff. Like give us a topic. And then it really went here. So,
It really did.
all right. So, how about discussing the representation, holy shit, of women in video games, animes, and other forms of media? Question mark. Don't know why you put a question mark. Um, you could talk about the different stereotypes of that female characters are often portrayed as, the lack of diversity in body types and skin tones, and the impact this may have on young girls and women who consume these forms of media. You can also talk about some of your favorite examples of well written and complex female characters in media and discuss what makes them stand out from the rest. This topic is
Yes, yes.
not only relevant and important, but it also allows a lot for a lot of interesting and thought provoking discussions. So, pretty much, it wants us to be girl power, feminism.
Which I'm not anti, to be fair. Um,
I wouldn't say I'm anti feminism. I'm better than men.
I mean, I don't like that either. I mean, I might joke that I am, but like I'm not like out there like trying to stomp on.
Like I hate the ones. So okay, these are our views and opinions. I need to give a
Yes,
disclaimer. I'm not
our
attacking
views.
anybody. Blah 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 blah. Okay. Good. We're
There
done.
you go.
So I'm all for equal rights, right?
Hmm.
But I don't like when females are like, I deserve more pay than men. Like it's like equal, right? Like you're
Equal.
you're
Yeah.
trying to go for equal rights, but you're trying to say I'm better than.
Yeah.
It's like I don't like. I guess the feminazis, I guess, are the the ones I don't like.
Right.
Okay,
Um, I was
so
gonna say, let's not use the term females either. It feels very Andrew Tate and makes me kind of want to vomit.
yeah, that's why
So
I was
we're
like,
gonna say women. Um,
women. I like women. I like the concept of oh, that's a
of
bad song to sing.
oh God. Okay. Do you want to go first or
Sure. Sure. So, as somebody that's dabbled in the 3D arts, as you are models, I've never have actually sculpted anything in my life, right? Like from scratch. So that's like a
Hmm.
chef's kiss. Can't do. Y'all are amazing. I can understand why in some video games they don't want to like make different body types where it's just like a male and a woman and that's like how it
Hmm.
is because let me tell you from my model's big luscious booty, taking and pulling out every single fucking polygon to morph it perfectly around the thickness is time consuming. It is very time consuming. And then you can think you got it like perfect. And then like you pose your model to squat and then all hell breaks loose. And then it's like I mean you could say like they could delete the mesh under, right? Like that's probably what you should do.
Hmm.
But then you're just gonna have to re-add it. So like not re-add it, but you know what I mean. It's
I
just
get what
it's
you're
time
saying.
consuming and I understand that some developers and game artists don't want to take the time to
Hmm.
manually form their armor around specific body types because
Hmm.
when you add a slider into a video game
Yeah.
you can make some really
Yeah.
interesting forms and
Uh-huh.
I would like to see more diverse body shapes. I think it would make people not feel so self-conscious
Hmm.
about themselves because
Hmm.
like for example, one of my favorite video game characters is Lulu from Final
Hmm.
Fantasy X.
Hmm.
Let's be real, her body shape not very realistic.
It's no.
But like being a young kid, I was like, I want to be like Lulu, right? Like I want to have the hourglass
Hmm.
shape.
Right.
Emphasis on the hips though, because like, damn. Anyway, so like, I guess. Oh, so you know how it was like when we were growing up. Other than video games, it's like we had like models and shit shoved in our face.
Oh, yeah, like America's Next Top Model.
Yeah, so I guess like video games is like this generation's
Yeah,
models.
I mean, yeah. I feel or like influencers, Instagram and TikTok
Oh my
influencers.
god. Can we look?
We could,
Their filters. Nobody
yeah.
fucking looks like that.
No.
Like, dude, I
No.
hate it too because I have you seen the bold look
Oh,
on I hate it
God.
because when I don't personally look good in it. But
Oh no, I look like handsome Squidward.
it's like body dysmorphia though because it's like I
Mhm.
want there's this one that I really like that I can't remember what it was, but like it made me look absolutely gorgeous and I'm like, I wish I looked like this. What the fuck? Not to the point where I'm like
Yeah,
depressed about it, but it is harmful.
right. And I like we were on Tumblr when like pro anorexia and all that was like in its heyday.
Yeah.
And I had like almost 2 solid years of like really heavy disordered eating and thoughts and like Fitspo and like all that. And when you grow up with that, and I mean, I was like 21 at the time, but still, I was not an adult. Um, it does affect you. And I feel like with video games, especially like, I guess the ones I focused on growing up, like I played Kingdom Hearts and I was playing um F- Final Fantasy and the body types never really came to mind for me. because I wasn't paying it. It wasn't the main
Focus.
focus,
Yeah.
especially like Kingdom Hearts. Like they don't there's no comments really about anyone's body ever being made. There's like no sexualization like at all. Um and then I went into like survival horror, which when it's done well, there's very little sexualization either because you're focusing on surviving. And like even in Resident Evil, there's a couple like there's the infamous scene of Claire in her like high-waisted jeans leaning over a computer and Steve is like ogling her ass.
Don't blame.
Don't blame her. Don't blame him. Wow, don't blame her. But like it's not excluded, but it's lesser in I think horror than other games.
Yeah, and like with Final Fantasy, I feel like apart from 14, right? Like
Mhm.
14's full of ERPers and shit. I think 15's the first one
Mhm.
where I've seen quote unquote sexualized like this character is mainly for
Right.
like fan service. Like I'm a fan of
Uh-huh.
fan service, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
but
We've discussed, yes.
but like Sid's daughter, why can't I remember her name right now?
I could not Cindy?
Cindy. Yeah. Like she's clearly
Yes.
a sexualized character and that's like what
Mhm.
she but at the same time like I don't feel like I was like damn why don't I look like her? Well, I'm
Right.
also like I'm not a fucking video game.
Yeah.
Like I'm not a fictional character. I'm a fucking human.
Mhm.
So I feel like it was more harmful. I think it's more harmful with like fucking TikTok people and
Yeah. And I guess like um where was my thought process? Damn it. I had it and it's gone. Give me a second here. Um oh my God, it went away. It went so far away.
it
It just floated
was just
far
like
away.
no, I'm gone.
Yeah. Shoot. Oh. Um and like as far as like fat representation, it's not even that they have to just like, be the best character and like amazing, unrealistic because here's the thing, there are fat people who can run for miles and not ever run out of breath. That is really reality. But most of us, like
That's not possible. I can run like
it's not
5 minutes
great.
and die.
And I think it's more about getting away from using fatness as a cheap joke
yeah.
because like even in The Last of Us, and I'm gonna get into the game a little bit, which I know you don't know, but Bill is a character that you play alongside in the game.
Okay.
He's alive. And he is a big man. And there's a lot of jokes about his weight from Ellie specifically. Mind you, 14-year-old girls, mean girls, just, oh God, that age. I don't think there's either mean girls or the ones who get bullied by the mean girls. There's no in between. And she doesn't know better. Because if you think about it, almost every person that you see is basically surviving off of almost nothing. He
Right.
just happens to be stockpiling for his entire life. So he's very, very hardy and it's very much used as a joke throughout the entire section is his weight and his like, his size. And, not a child. It doesn't hurt anymore. But if I would have played that when I was like 12, you get enough of that from TV, especially like in the 90s and 2000s.
Yeah.
Fat was a joke. There was no episode of like, it's okay to be fat. No, no, no. There was never never the message of like, you know, as long as you are actively just trying to take care of yourself, whatever that means for you, it's okay to be whatever size. No, it was like, oh, if you do this, this, and this, like you'll be healthy and thin, and that's what matters. So, like, I feel like it's like a double-edged sword because we are better now than we were when we were growing up, but you also have a lot more disillusion because of like filters and influence and social media.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
So it kind of goes down to like cultivating your space. So, like, I hope that young people take the time to be like, this creator or this video game or this TV series will be harmful for me. I need to stay away from this kind of content because unfortunately, you know, real life is nobody is going to hold your hand.
No.
You have to understand your triggers, you have to manage them. And the easiest way to do that is to take steps to protect yourself when you can, because you can't avoid it all the time. There's always going to be people out there. I had a customer a couple months ago who like told me that I need to lose weight now before I get old because it's hell being fat while you're old. Unsolicited, just unsolicited.
Like things.
This week with my uniform, I get reminded constantly, but I don't then go home and watch a bunch of, TikTokers or YouTubers who are, celebrating their thinness or constantly talking about their bodies at all. I cultivated a safe space in my personal life, and that's all you can do.
As somebody who very much enjoys food,
Me too.
I couldn't give it up. It's also like it's just harmful to be in like that mindset.
It is, and I was in it for a very long time, and yeah,
Like,
I won't do it again.
okay, so I used to be thin. Not
Hmm.
not at my own doing though.
Yeah.
Um my mom used to work at a fucking Ford Motor Company plant, right? Like she was
Hmm.
gone all the time. She didn't really care if I ate or not. So there was like points in my life where I would only eat like once a week.
Hmm.
Like not by my own doing,
Right.
but like that shit
Yeah.
sucked. That
Yeah.
was no way to live. Like I wasn't happy.
Right.
Now I'm happy now. I'm chubby. I don't give a fuck. Whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. And like also like this is just about like as a fat person, like that's the easiest thing to talk about representation wise. But also like all representation matters, especially like I try to be very inclusive. Like I want to see more people of color on TV and in video games and being represented as like actual people instead of stereotypes. Like
Yes.
I want to see people who are disabled who are not used as inspirational characters, who are just people who happen to be disabled. I I want everybody to have representation that isn't used for some sort of gain.
Do you remember the Proud Family?
Yes.
Do you remember the three triplets? The
Yes.
Did you see
Yeah.
the TikTok where they're like remaking them?
I didn't, but I
Oh my
knew they
god.
were I knew people had talked about it.
Yeah, so for those of you that don't know what the Proud Family is, it was a cartoon about I can't remember her name right now. God damn it.
Penny.
Penny, thank you. Penny and her family. Um they were of color, right? Like that was like one of the
Yeah.
first
Yes.
cartoons based off of that.
Yeah.
Anyway, there were three triplets, three Asian triplets that were very much stereotyped. Like they
Mhm.
were the academically,
Mhm.
like they were just drones, pretty much. They were like robots, right? Like,
Mhm.
but now they're redoing the Proud Family, and they have redone the triplets. They all have their own personality. They're all into what they're into. They're not like I think the TikTok was like talking about a specific episode where Penny wants to go on the math, like on
mathletes.
thank you, yes. And she asks the triplets, and they're like, no. And like, they pretty much call her out for it too. Like,
Yeah,
take your fucking stereotype somewhere else. So, like, I'm very
right.
happy they're doing that, and that needs to be done, like, for
Hmm.
other things too. Like,
Yeah. Um, but yeah, so like that's representation, and also like if we just vaguely want to go into like lewdness and like fan service, um, I always have this conversation with my brother because obviously he's a male anime watcher. Like sometimes his, tastes go more lewd. It's just the nature, honestly, of animes.
mm-hmm.
And I have watched several of these, more lewd, like I've watched Heaven's Lost Property. I've watched Be Gotta HK. Um, and a lot of them do have genuinely good stories behind them. Like there's no doubt about it. It's whether or not you want to deal with the lewdness. And there's ones that I can put up with, and there's ones I can't. And I almost didn't watch Fire Force because of what is her freaking name? Give me a second
You
here.
told
I
me last
literally
night, and I completely forgot.
Tamaki,
Yeah.
Tamaki, I think it's Tamaki, but it's Tamaki, I think. They call her Maki.
That's
So,
cute, but
she's adorable. Like, but the thing is, she's incredibly clumsy and her clothes are constantly falling off, like completely nude. And it really ruins her character because she's actually like really strategic and she's very smart and she's like a genuinely good person who wants to help others. And it's all overshadowed by the fact that 90% of the time she's naked and falling or hurting
yeah,
herself
like,
or
why
getting
is
herself
that?
into trouble.
Why is that her whole person? Like,
Yeah. And yeah, like you get used to it. That's the problem. Part of the problem is you get used to it.
it
And I
shouldn't
think
be a
it's like,
thing in the first place.
yeah, it's it's like anything else in moderation. Life can get lewd. Like real life, there are lewd things. But if we were constantly being lewd, that's called harassment.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like if you kind of put it in that standards, like in your media, it kind of makes more sense and it kind of helps rate, if you will, because it's like, okay, like occasionally something embarrassing and lewd happens. Sometimes you accidentally trip into somebody and you grab their butt to, save yourself from falling,
Or you're
or you end
passing them and you accidentally graze them. Or, yeah, like,
or you trip into somebody and you get a face full of boobs. It does happen. It's not unrealistic. But if that was constantly happening every time you had an interaction with this person, you would be jailed. So like, yeah, that's kind of where it's kind of why I haven't watched My Dress Up Darling, which a lot of people say you just have to get past because it's actually
why should
like
I
a
have to get past it?
yeah, that's the thing. And I'm not a prude. Like, I'm not like a prude. That's not the issue.
Look,
I have no problem with it, but if it's gratuitous, I don't care for it.
if I'm watching an anime and I don't feel comfortable watching it out in my living room where like my dad could walk downstairs and
Mm,
see it,
yeah.
like, no,
Yep.
I'm not
Yep.
doing it.
Right. Exactly.
Are you ready
Um,
for the next topic?
oh, do you want to really fast name one or two good examples of like female characters or representation? Do you have any?
I would have to think. Um,
Think. think.
I guess. Well, kind of. Sorry. Like,
You're okay.
air, air. Is it air? Eris, air, Eris. Red haired girl from Jobless Reincarnation.
Okay. Okay.
I think it's air. Anyway, um, so at first she's like a brat that you like don't like, right? She's just an annoying
Hmm.
fucking yappy dog, pretty much.
Hmm.
Um, but she grows.
Right.
Uh, well, let me. Oh, she okay. So they get kidnapped.
Hmm.
Mainly her. She gets kidnapped.
Right.
And she realizes like not everything's like gonna go her way and shit. So she grows and learns how to fight and becomes this
Hmm.
badass bitch. Like somebody that's like, I'm gonna be the one to protect you, not the other way around.
Hmm.
Right? So like
Yeah.
I am glad they did her like that because when you like I said, when you first meet her, she's just like one of those annoying, bratty characters. But I'm glad
Hmm.
they made her the hero, I guess, realistically.
Right.
Um and then like the end of season 2, I think. She leaves
Hmm.
actually. She's like, "Hey, I'm going to go do my thing." By
Hmm.
my thing, I mean I'm going to cut off all my hair and go train and be somebody that can protect you pretty much.
Hmm.
Like it's wholesome and cute
Hmm.
and I love it.
Yeah.
Um I'm trying to think of somebody else and I don't want to just do isekais because they're all about heroes and
Right.
um see I don't watch that much anime. I guess Faye Valentine too from Cowboy Bebop,
Okay.
which is shocking because Cowboy Bebop came out in the 90s. So
Yeah.
she's meant to be portrayed as the like damsel in distress.
Hmm.
Um she's not. Faye carries that group.
Hmm.
um so okay, see this is the thing. We were talking about sexualization and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Faye uses it to her advantage.
Hmm.
So like she can get the upper hand,
Right.
which I think is a good thing where
No, it is.
you're not
No.
willing to play the victim, but you will use your sexuality to
It's
like
like it's like Meg from Hercules, right?
Oh
Yeah.
wow, yeah, she reminds me a lot of Meg.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that. Like it's an empowerment thing. It's
Hmm.
not I'm
Right.
gonna use my body to get whatever
Right.
I want thing. So yeah,
Right.
those are my two.
Um, I feel like it's kind of cheating to say any of the Resident Evil like leads because like I said earlier, like especially survival horror is kind of immune to the sexualization a lot of times. But I'm gonna say, and I know a lot of people had like were angry about this. So Jill's outfit in Resident Evil 3 got changed when they did the remake.
Hmm.
She was originally in like a tube top, a mini skirt, and had like a sweater cardigan wrapped around her waist. Very 90s. Very 90s. And then in the remake, she's in like a Henley like tank top. Oh God, she disappeared.
I'm sorry.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Did you fall?
I heard a noise, so I looked around my office. Sorry.
Okay. No, you're good. I was like, oh God, what happened? The monsters got her. Anyways. Um, so like in the remake, she's literally like wearing a tank top and like jeans and is like way more practical. And a lot of people had a problem with that because they're like, oh, they're getting rid of her femininity. And it's like, okay, we need to be realistic. For one, she is a special ops person. She's special ops. I'm not saying that special ops people don't dress differently outside of their job. She is actively in an investigation from the first game to the third game. From the time she leaves the Spencer mansion to the destruction of Raccoon City, she is in an investigation. She's not going to be in a clubbing outfit.
Right? Could you imagine her in heels and a tight ass dress? That's not
Oh my God.
efficient.
No. So, like, I'm going to cheat a little and just say, like, Jill is a really good example um, of just a good female lead. And Claire goes a little further where it's like, she does kind of lean into the traditional like, oh, like females are protectors, they're nurturers, like she's very nurturing, like, she automatically takes on a child in the middle of an apocalypse. Like only a woman would do that. Like she does fall a little bit more into the stereotypes, which is why I kind of go towards Jill more
Right.
because she's more conflicted. Like she doesn't want to killing all these people even if they're lost causes. She has a problem, she has a conflict with it. So she's a little bit more realistic, I guess, for what we're going for. She's a good complex character. And let's see, do I have anything else? Do I say Chloe Price? Do I say Chloe?
You can say Chloe.
I I think my problem is I go to the next extreme because it's like if if female characters aren't allowed to be nurturing, if they're not allowed to be, quote unquote motherly without it being a stereotype, I go 100% 360 to like, okay, they're going to be the most brash, damaged person.
Broken packages.
Yes. And like, but I'm gonna say Chloe. She she's just I yeah, I'm gonna say Chloe.
She's Chloe. We love Chloe.
We do love Chloe. But yeah, I think a good lead that doesn't rely on a lot of like sexist tropes or anything like that. So yeah, I'm gonna say those two. Okay, let's try to move forward.
Okay, so I know it says it's paused. Excuse it. It's dumb. So what you do in this beautiful program, which I will link in the description,
Hmm.
is you type something and it gives you a response.
Yes.
So like hi. I don't need to say hi. It's a fucking AI, but you know. Um, give me a topic to talk about on my podcast with my best friend. Nerdy shit, please. We are women.
We are womans.
Womans. Okay, yeah. So it'll take a second and it literally, like, it's Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. How about discussing the representation of women in science fiction
Ha!
and fantasy? Okay, chatbot, listen. Just because we're women doesn't mean we need to talk about women. Okay. You can.
Remove women. Just
Yeah,
remove women.
you know, because it's just literally gonna be the same thing over
Uh-huh.
again. Okay, so I need a topic to talk about on my podcast with my best friend.
There you go. Oh
Okay.
my God.
So yeah, it's really fast. How about discussing the topic of quote unquote hobbies? You can talk about the hobbies you both enjoy and why you find them interesting or rewarding. You can also discuss the benefits of having a hobby, such as stress relief, personal growth, and connecting with others who share your interests. Even though I don't do that because I don't like the people that like the things I like. Additionally, you can explore new hobby ideas, share tips in finding time and resources to pursue your hobbies, and discuss how hobbies have impacted your lives. Okay, cool. That's a thing we can talk about. Let me hide
Okay.
this now because it's just going to say my stream is still going.
Okay.
Hobbies. Um,
Hobbies.
would you like to go first?
Sure. I
You're like,
actually
not really.
I no, I had this conversation with my supervisor actually this week. Um, because I am a person who will flat out say I don't enjoy working. There's 1,010 things I would rather be doing than spending 7 to 10 hours of my day working.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I like started listing off all the things that I enjoy doing. And it's like, I like video games very much. I write. I haven't read a book, but I used to love reading. Um, I want to get back into pen paling. I did pen paling for about a year and a half. Um, paper craft. I literally did paper crafts before the podcast with my mom. Um, I watch anime and TV and movies, and I like analyzing those things. Literally, this is a hobby. The podcast itself is a hobby that I've wanted to do for a really long time. And I'm kind of like a jack of all trades, but like I just collect hobbies. And it's really hard because when things get busy, I don't have time for those things. And like streaming has taken a backseat for over a year because making the time to sit and stream is a dedication I haven't been able to let myself have. So, like, hobbies are great, but as an adult, kind of shitty because I
That's
can't
fair.
dedicate the time to them.
That's
So,
completely
yeah,
fair.
yeah.
uh, I also like video games. Um, I like to draw.
Mm-hmm.
I draw on my iPad. Um, no, I'm not going to share any of those drawings because I absolutely hate everything I make. As one does.
Usually, yes.
I used to also very much enjoy reading, but I just bought 3 books and started read. I've literally only read 2 chapters of a book because I was reading, and
Mm-hmm.
then my husband decided he was going to play video games out in the living room, and I got distracted and couldn't read, so I moved to the bedroom, and then he thought I got offended, so I couldn't read anymore. So that's just not a thing. And like I don't have like a comfy chair in my office to where I can just like sit
Mm-hmm.
and read, right?
Right.
Um so yeah, I haven't fucking picked up a book since. But let's see. It's what other hobbies do I have? I start things and I don't finish. It's my ADD mind, I swear. Um I have a piano. I learned how to play Doki Doki's song. I haven't touched it since. It's literally like piled with clothes. Um, I used to play ukulele a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know why I stopped, but like I said, I have ADD mind. I have a hyper focus.
Yeah. Mm.
But as soon as I get bored of that, I just don't touch it for quite a long time. Like I haven't drawn since November.
I was gonna say, when did you send me?
Yeah, it's funny because I started redoing all my old art
Mm-hmm.
and then I just haven't touched it since. I was
You
actually
sent me the picture of Danny and Dell in December.
okay, yeah, that's the last drawing I did actually, which I need to redo because I'm changing my
Yes.
character. Anyway, um so I was actually going to draw today, but then my iPad's dying and my pen was dead, so I was like, well, I guess I'm not doing that.
No, nothing doing that.
Um Is music a hobby? I like listening to music. Is that a hobby? Fuck if
I
I know.
I don't know, but I do know that there's people who don't listen to music. So like, yeah,
I don't trust those people.
I don't trust people who can like live with their own heads, honestly.
I don't. Yeah, those people I don't trust. I guess hair dyeing my hair is a fucking hobby.
Yeah,
It's more of a manic thing, but hey.
it's fine.
Like I've had a shitty week. Let's dye my hair.
Oh, I wish I was that impulsive.
It didn't turn out anything like how I wanted it to. It's kind of gray. There's hints of gray. My roots, guess what? It bleached my roots and they're like a weird brown blonde color now. So guess what I have to do again next week? Re-dye my hair. So you
Yep,
know.
as you do.
So yeah, I guess making not making Frankensteining model pieces together in Blender and Unity is a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
It drives me crazy, but I love doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's kind of funny. Like last episode, like I said, my husband was supposed to
Mm-hmm.
join the podcast. So I was like, oh, I can make you a model. Like I'm gonna go home and start like finding pieces for you and stuff. He's like, I don't want to do that to you. It like kind of broke my heart because like I like
Hmm.
doing it.
Right.
Just let me do it. He's like, I'll just be a dinosaur. Like that's boring.
That's
Like I know it
boring.
frustrates me, and I know I spend literally all day on a model, and like just for it not to work breaks my heart. But it's like I enjoy doing it. So,
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
the importance of hobbies. It gives you character.
It makes the inevitability of how long life really is a little bit bearable.
Like what do people do that don't have hobbies? They just come home and exist. Like
I, I don't know.
I don't like you. I'm
Like,
saying that a lot, but like I don't trust people that don't have hobbies.
I think of it like this. Like back in the day, like when it was the traditional, men worked 9 to 5, women stayed home with the kids, women made sure that they had at least 2 to 3 kids, that kind of thing. That was the hobbies. Like the children were the woman's hobby. Taking care of the house was the woman's hobby. And the man just got to do whatever the frick he wanted. And
Yeah.
like, it's so depressing to think about. And like, at the same time, like, imagine not having to worry about anything. This got on a little bit of a tangent, I understand, but like, I don't know.
Yeah, like I
I
can't even imagine that.
I can't imagine. And like, see, the thing is, my mom worked for the first 8 years of like my existence. Like, she worked before that, obviously. She's working since she was a teenager. But she decided to quit working and be a stay-at-home mom when I was 8, 9 years old, and was until I was like 22 is when she went back to work. It was when my dad was on short-term disability because of his heart attack. So like, she was a homemaker, if you want to go old school, for like over a decade.
I
I
couldn't do
don't know
it.
how the frick that woman did it. I would have gone insane.
I couldn't do it. No, thank
I,
you.
I I couldn't, like, and she kept busy. Don't get me wrong. Like, she did all the things. She did all the chores. She did errands. Excuse me, she used to do like craft projects and like pen paling and email pen pals, and I still don't know how she did it though at the end of the day once you add taking care of other people. Like, I don't know how
I
she did
feel
it.
like it would just make me really depressed.
Yeah.
Okay, this is sad now. Let's move on to our next topic.
Anyways, next topic,
Okay, Mr. Bot. I need another topic, please.
please.
Oh, God. Okay. This is okay.
Okay.
How about discussing the topic of personal growth and self improvement?
Oh,
You
Jesus.
could talk about the various ways that you worked on improving yourself, such as setting goals, developing new habits, and learning skills. You can also discuss the challenges you faced along the way and share advice for staying motivated and overcoming obstacles. I don't know if we are the right people to talk about this.
I was literally going to say I am too depressed, too stressed, and too much in debt to do anything to improve myself.
This is funny. Additionally, you can explore different approaches of personal growth, such as therapy, coaching, self-help books, and discussing benefits and drawbacks of each. Yeah, nah. But listen, honey, we're not the people to ask this. Let's go.
I'm mentally
New
ill,
topic, please. We are both terrible.
severely mentally ill. I am holding on by a thread.
Same. Like I told you earlier this week, I'm gonna be gray. Like not dyeing my hair gray, right? I'm just
You're just gonna
preemptively
go
doing
gray.
it, but I'm gonna go gray by the end of this year. Okay, how about discussing the topic of the future of technology? You can talk about the latest advancements in technology, such as AI, virtual reality, 3D printing, and exploring how this might impact various aspects of our lives, such as work, entertainment, and healthcare. You can also discuss the other blah blah blah. Okay, no, that's boring. We're literally using an AI for this video.
True.
I mean, we're also
We're
VTubers right now, so
Yeah, so we're living the future. It's
yeah.
fine.
New topic, please.
New
Nope,
topic.
nope. It's mental health. Nope.
Oh no. No, no, no.
New topic.
Please help.
Okay, this is good. Even
Okay.
though I haven't gone anywhere recently. How about discussing the topic of travel? You can talk about your favorite travel experiences, share tips for planning trips, and discussing the benefits of travel, such as broadening your perspective, gaining new experiences, and learning about different cultures. You can also explore different types of travel, such as solo travel, group travel, or sustainable travel, and discuss the advantages and challenges of each. Additionally, you can
Oh
discuss
dear.
how the COVID-19 pandemic has impacted travel and how it might change the way we travel in the future.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah. You want to
so
go first?
sure, traveling.
Okay.
I like vacations. I like going places. I have not traveled outside the United States, which I would like to change that because I would very much like to go to like Japan or Denmark or,
Mm-hmm.
literally anywhere. um but inside the United States, I have been pretty much all fucking over. I think the only places I haven't been are like California and like Arizona, like the middle part of the
Mm-hmm.
continent because my travels have not taken me there. Anyway, so my husband was in the military.
Mm-hmm.
We drove from state to state, so that was fun. Um, Literally lived in Texas for a year and a half, and then we moved to Washington State for
Mm-hmm.
another year and a half,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and then moved back here.
Uh-huh.
So that was a whole last triangle that I just did.
Yes, yes.
There's a song lyrics from a brand new song, and it goes, "We'll add this to the places we hate." Right.
Uh-huh.
Montana, definitely in the list of places I hate. There's
Mm-hmm.
nothing there. It is just a flat land of nothing. Like, dude, literally driving through Montana, we drove the length of Montana. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
nothingness except for there would be like a truck on the side of the road, And then we go past it. A couple miles later, there would be cows. I like cows. That's cool. They're on the side of the road. And then, like, literally a couple more miles down the road, there's a guy
Mhm.
behind his truck with a shotgun killing cows. So, like, that's Montana. That is just Montana.
Terrifying.
I was like, cool. And I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Dead End.
I think I have.
It's literally the road that would not fucking end. That's how Montana felt. It just felt like it was never gonna fucking end.
Gotcha.
Um, Washington State is absolutely beautiful though.
Hmm.
Uh, it does not rain all the time like they portray it in fucking Twilight. Okay, it's not always
Right.
raining. Um, it reminded me a lot of Michigan, right? Like very
Yeah.
foresty. There was mountains in the distance, just beautiful.
Hmm.
Um, I loved Texas except for the heat.
Yeah.
It's a very dry in your face heat, so it's like hard to
Hmm.
breathe.
Right.
Um, Also when it rains or snows, everybody forgets how to drive, and their roads are like 80. So like,
Right. Right.
and like the
It's a free
area,
for all.
yeah, pretty much. And the area I lived in Texas, it just reminded me of Pontiac. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I did have Whataburger.
I've never had Whataburger.
It's not as good as everybody makes it out to be. However, I will
Mm.
say Church's Chicken's fries, not their chicken, their fries, addicting.
Gotcha.
They're so good. Recently went to Florida.
Hmm.
Would go again, just not in June. I would.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know there's like the whole debacle right now with Harry Potter and J.K. Rowling. I hate the bitch. However, I am the type of person, I like the thing they produced. I don't like the person, right?
Hmm.
Like the same thing can be like I've discussed it before about the music, like my favorite
Yes.
bands, the allegations. Like I like what they make. I don't like them.
Yeah.
So I've always wanted to go to Universal Studios,
Hmm.
and I've always wanted to go to the Harry Potter section.
Hmm.
Let me tell you,
Hmm.
do not go to Orlando in June.
No. No.
We get to Universal Studios, and within 10 minutes of being there, I have already had to throw my hair up. I'm basically wearing no clothes at this point, right?
Yeah.
I'm wearing like a very, very light, like, what are they called? Kimonos? Kind of like for
Uh-huh.
like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not like a legitimate kimono, but like, you
Right.
get what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying.
A romper, like a tank top romper.
Hmm.
I'm drenching in sweat. So I have to throw my hair up really quick. So for those of you that don't know, when I am hot, I get irritated. And
Me
I
too.
am very insufferable when I am irritated. So we go. Universal Studios has no shade, mind you.
Hmm.
I forgot to bring waters, so we had to pay $2 for a fucking water bottle. Um, we I only bought the one park pass because I only wanted to go
Hmm.
to the Hogwarts section.
Hmm.
We entered the wrong section.
Oh no.
So we had to drop $100 more on top of the 200 that we paid for
Right.
the tickets. So by this point, like I said, I'm hot, I'm irritated. Mike
Hmm.
is a very hairy man. He's got back hair, he's got chest hair, he's got hair everywhere. So he's also very
Your little
irritated.
Bigfoot.
Yeah, he's also very irritated and hot, right?
Uh-huh.
Um, the Harry Potter section is all the way in the back of the park. So because we went into the wrong entrance, I we also went to that side's Harry Potter because they I wanted to go to Diagon Alley.
Hmm.
We went to uh like the castle thing or whatever. And there's a
Yeah.
train. And I'm like, "Oh my god, there's a train to take us from this park to that park." Guess what? It was down.
Ha.
So we had to walk. Anyway, we finally get there. I get my wand. I I felt very personally attacked by an employee in Ollivanders because I didn't know what wand I wanted, right? And of
Uh-huh.
course, the wand I was supposed to have, they were out of stock. And the employee is pretty much just like straight out calling me out as a person, pretty much. Never met me, and I was like, "This, yep, you are 100% accurate, sir." Anyway, I got my wand. And I'm like, okay, while we're here, I'm taking pictures and stuff. Like I said, I'm hot, I'm irritated, I want to die. I was like, oh my god, we should get a butterbeer. I've never had a butterbeer before. Autumn,
Uh-huh.
I
Yep.
can't I can't have butterbeer.
Because you're allergic to butterscotch,
I am
apparently.
apparently because I've
Yeah.
never so on top of me being hot and irritated, I
You're
have
now
an
itchy.
allergic reaction. My eyes are watering like crazy. I can't see. So now Mike wants to go on rides and stuff, and I'm like, honey, I'm dying. I can't see. My eyes are itchy. He had to drive back to the hotel. So I would like to go to Florida again and redo the experience, just not in June.
Yeah.
So that's about the extent of my vacations and traveling. Like I said, I want to go to like Japan.
Hmm.
I want to go to Shibuya. I like eating Japanese food. I like eating Chinese food. I like eating food. I like food. I'm a foodie. I like cultures, food. Great.
Uh-huh.
Cool. That was a lot of tangent that really didn't have
That's
anything to do
okay.
with travel other than my bad experience.
No, that's okay. That's
And
okay.
what about you?
Um, I only left the state twice. So I had two parents who worked full time. Well, I mean, my mom was a stay-at-home mom, but obviously my dad worked full time from that point on. And we didn't really have the money to travel. So it was vacations to literally the same county I live in now to visit my grandparents, um, which is grandpa of the podcast that I talk about occasionally. Um, I have been to Mayville, Wisconsin. I am going to shout out the city because the house that I was staying in was across from the house that was the inspiration for Monster House, the movie.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, that is a cool little factoid, I guess. But I've not been to like anywhere else. I've traveled around Metro Detroit a lot, which I really mean, that sounds so lame. Like I I don't get to do a lot of cool stuff. Um, why am I getting emotional?
Oh, well, we're gonna plan a trip.
I mean, I have a list of places.
We'll go
Um,
somewhere on your
does any
list.
I don't know if you want to hear it.
Yeah.
Oh, I've also been to Copper Harbor, which is at the very, very tippy top, like the last like bit of land in the Upper Peninsula. Um, when I was like elementary school kid. So like I have been there. It was cool. I barely remember it, but um I want to go to Yokohama, Japan.
What's in
Um
Yokohama?
well, it's a port city. It's also where Bungo Stray Dogs is set.
Ah, yes, yes. That's why I want to go to Shibuya because of like Persona 5
Uh-huh.
and Alice in Borderland.
Yeah. It's where Bungo Stray Dogs is set, and also I made it Kaede's hometown. Um I want to go to Germany because my dad was stationed in Germany for a while when he was in the service, and I mean, it's also technically the land of my ancestors at some point. I am German. Um, uh, I've always wanted to go to, let's just go big cities, New York City, Chicago, New Orleans. Um, that's really, really it. I don't really have much want for the West Coast.
It's overrated. I mean, well, like I
Um,
said, Washington State was beautiful, but
yeah.
overrated.
And plus, a lot of my dad's family is like in the Southwest, so I don't want to run into any family.
Understandable.
So, um, yeah, I mean, Chicago is the easiest, I would say. Because I've already been to Detroit half a dozen times, obviously, because I had lived close enough. Um, And I finally went to Grand Rapids last year. That was what my birthday trip was.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been to like the two big cities, if you want to call it that, for Michigan. That's like the big ones is Grand Rapids and I mean Kalamazoo, I guess, but like there's
Who
just a
the
lot of
fuck
sex
wants to
trafficking.
go to Kalamazoo?
There's just a lot of sex trafficking there. Um, but yeah, like Chicago, New York City, um, New Orleans, however you want to pronounce it. I don't know the proper. Um, sort of want to go to Florida for like the Disney and stuff. But it's not like the top of my list. Um, but yeah, that's about it. I'm not very exciting. I have a lot of travel anxiety, unfortunately. I'm a person who very much likes other cultures and stuff, but from the safety of my home.
That's fair. Now that I have a grown-up job, I want to put back my well after I'm done like fixing up my house and stuff. I want to put back some money so I can go to Japan
Hmm.
or Denmark. I don't know. We have our friends. Well, Ollie. I'm not.
Hmm.
I've never met his girlfriend in real life, so we'll see how that goes. But she's a sweetheart online, so like I'm hoping.
Right.
Anyway, yeah, we have friends from Denmark that are coming this year. They came. Well, he came like 6 years ago. um, so I think it would be cool if we went to Denmark.
Hmm.
Not to like put them out or anything. Like I would get a
Right.
hotel, but
No, I get what you mean.
like I was supposed to go on a cruise in the Bahamas to the
Hmm.
Bahamas, but like that's not the place I want to go. Like
Right.
if I'm gonna spend all that money, I'll go to fucking anywhere else, you know?
Right.
Okay, let's see. Do you want to do one more topic?
Sure.
New, not topic. Ooh. New topic. Oh, yeah, shit. Sorry, I forgot about this. Okay.
Oh, and I will say a little bit of the reason why some of the places I want to go to are because of nerdy reasons. So like Chicago is where the Dresden Files are set. New Orleans is well, Shreveport, Louisiana is where True Blood is set.
Yep.
And I've just always been obsessed with New Orleans, period. Um, That's really, I mean, Yokohama is because of Bungo Stray Dogs. Germany is because of, well, Dad. Um, and at one point, Phoenix, Arizona was on my list because um there was a series of books, two different series that were set in the like greater metropolitan Phoenix area. So yeah, I'm a dork.
Well, like I want to go to Salem because I'm obsessed with witches.
How did I forget Salem? Also, Point Pleasant. How did I forget Point Pleasant, West Virginia? I want to go to the Mothman Festival.
I also want to go to New Orleans because of the whole like voodoo aspect
Uh-huh.
of it. I like witchy shit. like
I do too.
I like the dabble in the dark arts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, this will be our last topic.
Okay.
How about discussing the topic of creativity? You could talk about various ways you both express your creativity, such as writing, painting, or music, and explore the benefits of creative expression, such as stress relief and personal growth. You could also discuss the challenges of creativity, such as creative blocks or self doubt, and share tips in overcoming them, as if we have. Additionally, you can explore the role of creativity in different areas of life, such as work or relationships, and discuss how to cultivate a creative mindset.
Okay. Do you want me to go first?
Yes.
Okay, I guess this is actually really relevant because of what I'm working on now. So I, funny enough, did not consider myself a writer for a very long time. I always said I was a reader. I was supposed to read other people's, works. And then I was made to write short stories for class in seventh grade and just kind of got a bug and stuck with it. Um, so like writing became a part of like my like persona. Like I was the writer. I was the girl who got in trouble in class because I was scribbling down ideas. I was the one who rather spend her weekends, plotting out the next, arc of my story than going out to the mall. I wrote a story from freshman year all the way through senior year of high school. I wrote fan fictions. I've wrote original works. I've wrote poems. I wrote on journalism and yearbook. Um, it was very much like my personality for a very long time. And then roughly like early 2015, I couldn't write anything. It all just stopped. And it was like that until late 2019. I could not write anything. I had ideas, I just couldn't put them to paper or, type them. And it's it's the double-edged sword as I always that's like my favorite metaphor. Um is my creativity makes me who I am. I am a storyteller, regardless if I ever write another word. I love to tell stories. I love to hear other people's stories. That's, I feel, sort of my place. I'm not going to say purpose. I'm not going to say purpose, but I'm a person who understands the weight of a person's story, regardless if it's a real person's or somebody's imagined story. And like when I lost that ability, I lost a part of myself. And it wasn't until 2019 that I got it back. And I've been fighting every day since to keep it. And, there's days that are a lot easier for me because there's days when the ideas, are everywhere and I know where I want the story to go and what the characters are going to do. And then there's times when I can't get a word down and it's crushing. It really is because I feel like creativity is what gives, at least to me, life meaning. Like, even if you can't create yourself, other people's creativity gives you life. So, like, let's say you can't write a word, but you love to read. Somebody else's words, someone else's creativity is giving you enjoyment. Somebody else's tech skills give you that video game that you're obsessed with.
Mhm.
Creativity makes the world go round. Without art, it's the dark ages again. Like, not to be dramatic, but there's a reason why the dark ages were dark. And it wasn't just because there was a lot of death, it's because creativity died and it wasn't reborn until the Renaissance. And I feel like as people, um, stories go back as long as we have records, right? Like that's what anthropology is. It's the study of people and the way they live their lives. And most of that is through stories, through myths, through legends, through religion. Like all of that at the end of the day is storytelling. It's creativity. And that got really deep. Yeah, I don't know. I'm very passionate about creativity because I feel like even the people who say they aren't creatives just don't realize that there's somebody who has to be the intakers of other people's creativity. Because if you're just screaming in the void all the time, like you're really just screaming.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with you. Holy shit, that did get deep.
Yeah, I didn't mean to because I literally write fan fiction right now. I don't even write original content currently, but like without Doris, without Rita, without Kaede, and literally Delaney or Echo, who was like my first OC, and like I couldn't work through half the shit in my life I've been through if it wasn't for working it through with those characters, especially like the newer ones like Doris and Rita and Kaede. Like I've worked through so much with them. They are parts of me, like you said last episode. Like they represent parts of me, regardless if it was intentional in the beginning or not. So yeah, creativity is really important to me.
Oh, I can't top that. Um, as
Oh,
for
I feel
no,
so
no, don't,
embarrassed.
don't. I can speak on the other half. As for creative block, right?
Hmm.
I think it's important if you don't know what to write or what to draw, right, or what to make. Look up references and just take
Hmm.
some like inspiration from somebody else's work and try to recreate it in your own way.
Hmm.
Like that's always a good thing. Or like being an artist as myself. I hate calling myself that because I literally fucking can't stand anything I make. Um, looking up like different poses or like drawing specific body parts like hands. Let me tell you, my anatomy not good. You could also like sharpen your skills when you have creative block, right? Like
Hmm.
fuck, I don't know, look outside your window and just draw something.
Right.
Draw your backyard, like just anything to get that the juices going because there's
Hmm.
nothing worse than like I said I haven't touched my shit since no December, so I don't know if like
Hmm.
this is the pot calling the kettle black. Um but just draw something cuz you
Hmm.
can start and like halfway through you get that spark, right? Like you're like, "Oh,
Hmm.
I'm going to do this." Or there's like these fun websites that give you prompts and shit
Hmm.
that you can do.
Yeah.
I think it's just doing it is the hard thing, right? Like
Yeah.
just draw anything. I don't know, draw a fucking smiley face. Just write a cheesy ass scene from like a show, right? That you want the way you
Hmm.
want it to go.
Hmm. Yeah, and I feel like I've already talked too much about this, but
No.
like I have this like system now since I started writing again that most of the time I don't write chronologically. I do not do like chapter 1 through chapter 20. I go with what scenes are fleshed out in my head first and I build around them because I realized part of what was happening was I was so worried about everything connecting properly
Mhm.
that I was losing the spark of inspiration for the characters. because I'm a character-driven person. Um, Plot is important, but I care more about the people. You could have five people in a empty room and I would read it if the characters give me enough, right?
Yeah.
So my goal is always to have a character who feels as realistic as you do to somebody else. And I don't know if I capture it very well, but it is my goal. And
I think you
I just write snippets. I write scenes. I don't worry about chronologic, at least not now. Someday I'll have to,
did.
but
Once you have all the scenes, you can like fit them together. They're like puzzle pieces.
mhm, yep.
See, and like my way of art is so weird compared to everybody else's. So I've always been like this too. I'm really good at recreating something, right? Like that sounds really cocky. I can look at a picture, like let's say like I don't know, a fucking for example, when I was in high school, I really liked Never Shout Never, and I got a picture of his album art cover, which is literally animals and an apple in a fucking car, right? I got
Mhm,
that. I looked at it. I started drawing it on paper. Like, I am really good at
mhm,
recreating pieces. When it comes to original, not very much. Um, I'm also like the kind of person that doesn't sketch first. I don't
mhm,
do the whole drawing out the fucking way I want the body positioned or like the head or anything. Like I just go full force, and it's very weird because I start with the eyes
mhm,
and then the nose and then the mouth and then I fucking make the face. It's just it's so weird. Like not everybody, like nobody. I've never met anybody else that's drawn like that.
mhm,
But you just gotta find something that works for you,
mhm,
whether or not it be not traditional or because like
mhm,
it's kind of funny because Mike brings it up all the time. He's like, your art style is so weird, your process is weird, because like I said, I start with the eyes, then the nose,
mhm.
then the mouth, then the face shape, then the hair,
Right.
and then I'll like work on the body. It's I don't sketch anything. I feel like I don't know, with sketching I just feel like it just looks weird.
Yeah.
I've never been a planned person.
A
I
planned
just
person.
do it. So like don't let anybody tell you that your process is weird compared to
Mhm.
everybody else's, because it's like whatever suits you.
Yep.
So yeah, creativity. Just do it.
Yeah.
Nice. Don't take
Mhm.
any mental health advice from us though, because that's why I skipped
No.
all that. That's
No.
no. We are not talking about that.
No, 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 no. Nope. Nothing about mental health.
We are
No.
just two overfilled water balloons waiting to burst.
That is the most accurate statement.
Like it's a matter of time.
Just a matter.
I that was fun. I actually really we should do this again.
Yeah,
This was
this was
fun.
fun. Yeah, this was fun. Yes. Alrighty. So next week is podcast.
Oh shit! Where's my my planner?
I
Hold on. My
I
planner
was
is
gonna
in
say
my work backpack.
I think I can probably get to it faster. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Racing against the clock. Ah,
Let's see. It's
got it.
March. We literally
Yes.
yes. Next week is podcast.
So next week is podcast. After that is Myths and Legends. Yes.
Ooh, I'm excited for that one.
And then we have the behind the archives, highs and lows, horror stories, uh, not our best
Embarrassing
moments.
things, yeah. Things that keep us up late at night. At least
Oh yeah.
me.
Yes. Absolutely. It could get a little depressing. We shall see. Hopefully not. Um, and then like we're not going to worry about April, May. That's the future, guys. Let's take it a week at a time or at least a couple weeks at a time.
Yeah.
As always, I am Autumn, aka Firefly,
I'm Moxie, aka Amy.
and I'm switching it up this week. I want y'all to endure and survive.
That is different. I have no words of encouragement.
It's a scary world out there, guys. Just take it easy and be safe.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening. Bye.
Bye.